What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Dan McStay's ACL injury and what it means to the club and everyone going forward. Let's get into it. So, it's just been confirmed that Dan McStay at training at Vic Park today, um, he had a knee injury. Went visibly, it was innocuous knee injury when he was turning, of course. Um, Straight to the medico, straight down to the rooms. Um, and it's just been confirmed in the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes that it is a ACL injury to the opposite knee that he did his MCL to in the prelim. Now that is it, it, poor dude, man. God, it's it's actually making me really, really sad. Like, oh God, he was much maligned coming to the club, or even our own supporters, giving him shit, especially opposition supporters, with how much money he was supposedly on and coming to the club and blah 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 blah. And then he just hadn't had a good run of it last season. A couple of hand injuries and stuff. And then when he came back, he was so instrumental. We don't get to a grand final without Dan McStay's efforts in the finals, and especially in that final against the Giants when he was up and running, and obviously that final against Melbourne. We don't beat Melbourne without McStay. We don't beat the Giants without McStay. And obviously in that Giants game is when he did his MCL, missed out on his chance to win a premiership medal. Absolutely just devastating news when he did his MCL. Had an MCL injury last season. Absolutely devastating news, and now he's come back fit. He's been training with the boys outside of the club and stuff. He didn't have to be back this week. This is his third session back. He didn't have to be back. He wasn't supposed to be. He was training, but not full training for another few weeks. And now he does his ACL, and it's an ACL injury now. 10 to 12 months preseason. It, that's it. Most likely, unless a miracle happens towards finals or the end of the year next year, he won't be playing in the black and white next year, and that is cruel. Football is a cruel, cruel, cruel sport that we love so much. We saw it with Taylor Adams, obviously McStay. We've seen it numerous times through all the 17 other teams as well. So my heart just absolutely breaks for McStay. It, like I said on Twitter, it took the wind right out of my sails. It was like getting punched in the gut, because he he was going to lead us to sort of this back to back campaign. I believe that he would have been phenomenal next season had he just gotten a good run at it. And it's just crazy how things work, because today I was going to record a video that was a Patreon submission video from Jess. I'll still record it, but in that video it was top 5 players I was looking forward to the most, who I think are going to have big seasons next year. And Dan McStay was on that list. Like, I wrote the list, Dan McStay was on it, because I believe that he would have just taken us to where we needed to go and better than we were this year. And now he can't be on that list now, because in his third session back he does his ACL. It is just cruel. It is a cruel, cruel world. Now, what does that mean going forward? So obviously he's going to go on the long-term injury list. So much like Charlie Dean did last season, long-term injury list, and it will open up another SSP spot. It is what I think. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So long-term injury list, because he won't be playing for 12 months, opens up another spot, and that's how we got Markov into the club last season. We only had one spot open, signed Oscar Steen. Charlie Dean goes down with a long-term injury with his foot, and then opens up another list spot. We get Markov in. Markov's a premiership player. What I think happens now is McStay straight onto the long-term injury list, and now instead of 3 list spots, we have 4 list spots open. 3, my best guess, will be taken in the SSP period, and then 1 will be that mid-season that they've been saying. So this gives an opportunity for, I think it's, what's his name? Bryn Teakle. I think his name is the guy from Port Adelaide. That's a sort of a forward ruckman. But also, not even just that we open up another list spot, you know, for another player that got delisted or whatever it may be. This opens up for Ash Johnson. It opens up for Nathan Kruger if he can stay on the park. So those two really big guys, those two big forwards, these are the guys that are going to have to step up in Dan McStay's absence. Last season they were both injured going into final, so Billy Frampton had to step up in that grand final. But those are the two guys that really need to step up, unless they change Billy Frampton into some sort of full forward type. But yeah, it's as much as it really, really, really hurts, and that's one story, that the Dan McStay thing really hurts, and our hearts, all of our collective black and white hearts, breaks for him. The other thing, the only positive you can take out of such a negative story is that it does open up another list spot, and it gives the other guys a better chance to sort of prove themselves in the best 23, and that's Ash Johnson, and that is Nathan Kruger. So it's just a wait and see what we do from here. But Dan McStay, I had the pleasure, absolute pleasure, of having a 15 or so minute chat with him last season in the lead up to one of the finals. I think it was the lead up to the GWS final, and he was such a nice dude, and good laugh and infectious smile, and he just didn't deserve this injury after the MCL, after losing a spot in the grand final. It just, look, I'll say it's just not fair, right? It's not fair. But I know, and you guys know as well, that he will come back bigger, stronger than ever, 2025, when we try and get that three-peat. But seriously, yeah, heart absolutely I'm devastated. My heart absolutely breaks for him. Leave your love for Dan McStay down in the comments below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shaggers. I'll see you later.